March 6, 2026. Good evening, my late night listeners. This is Sunny from Nite Muse Media. Before we begin, let me ask you something. When was the last time you stared into a fire? And more importantly, why did it feel so darn hard to look away? There's something strange about fire. Every human culture on earth has gathered around it, and yet we can't stop watching it. Why? Well, tonight we explore something ancient, something that has followed humanity for hundreds of thousands of years, a quiet glow in the darkness, a flicker that draws people closer, fire. Now, that's an interesting relationship when you think about it, because if there's one thing that can both save your life and burn your house down, it's fire. And yet, humans have trusted it for a very long time. Long before cities, before agriculture, even before written language, early Homo sapiens learned not just to fear fire, but to harness it. Somewhere deep in our past, our ancestors discovered that the same force that could burn a forest could also warm a cold night. It could cook our food, it could keep predators away, and perhaps, most importantly, it created light after sunset. Now, for most animals, darkness signals the end of the day. You find a safe place, you curl up, and you try not to become dinner. But for early humans, fire changed that. For the first time in history, the day didn't have to end when the sun went down. Around the warmth of a flame, small groups could gather. Food was shared, stories were told, and ideas were exchanged. Anthropologists believe the simple act of sitting around a fire may have helped shape human culture itself, which means it's entirely possible that civilization began because someone figured out how to keep the fire burning. More researchers have discovered something even more curious. Watching fire appears to have a measurable calming effect on the human body. In one study, participants who watched a flickering fire expressed lower blood pressure and reduced stress levels. The more the flames moved and crackled, the more relaxed people became, which might explain why staring into a fire for long periods of time feels completely natural. But staring at a toaster, not so much. It seems the human brain responds to fire in a way that feels instinctive, and perhaps that should not surprise us. For tens of thousands of generations, fire meant warmth and protection and survival. A calm fire meant safety, and safety allowed the mind to rest. There's another aspect of fire that people rarely talk about too. It's the atmosphere it creates. Firelight softens the world around us. Shadows move more gently and edges blur. The harsh brightness of daylight disappears and is replaced by something warmer, quieter. Anthropologists sometimes point out that fire may have changed not only how humans survived, but how they related to one another. When the day's work was done and the fire was burning low, people sat close. Conversations slowed, laughter softened. The glow of the fire created a kind of a shared intimacy. Even today, we instinctively recreate that environment. Restaurants, they dim the lights and they use candles. And in homes, we gather around the fireplaces. Campfires pull people into the circle. And they are used for seduction. Something about the warm flicker encourages people to relax, to open up, to feel connected. Perhaps that's another reason humans have always loved fire. It warms the body, but it also warms the space between people, if you get my drift. Anthropologists also suggest that fire may have helped create one of humanity's most important traditions, storytelling. Before writing existed, Knowledge had to be spoken. It was passed from one generation to the next. And where did people gather to speak? Around the fire, of course. In that small circle of light, myths were born, lessons were shared, history was remembered and passed on. The campfire may have been the very first classroom, which also means the first teachers probably began their lectures with something like, "Everyone gather closer, the fire's getting low." Even today, something about fire continues to draw us in. People still gather around campfires, fireplaces, candles, bonfires on the beach. We watch the flames move. We fall quiet. The conversations get deeper. The phones get set aside, which is a minor miracle in itself in modern civilization. The same signal that called our ancestors into the firelight still speaks to us now. There's another reason fire has always held my respect. My father was a fire chief for decades. Growing up, I saw both sides of flame, the warmth of a campfire and the destruction when fire gets out of control. I learned early that fire is never something to take lightly. It deserves respect. Every spark carries possibility, warmth, light, survival, or something far more dangerous. Perhaps that's part of why humans remain so captivated by it. We are drawn to it, but we also understand deep down that it demands humility. Anyone who has watched a firefighter walk toward flames while everyone else is running away, as I watched my father, understands that respect. There's something else about fire that appears again and again across human history. Almost every culture on earth has developed rituals centered around flame. The ancient Greeks kept sacred fires burning in their temples. In India, they had fire ceremonies that have been practiced for thousands of years. And in many Native American traditions, fire is used in council gatherings and ceremonies. Even in modern life, we still create small rituals around flame, birthday candles and memorial candles and bonfires during the holidays, and the Olympic torch. Across continents and centuries, humans return to the same symbol, a small living flame. Anthropologists believe this may reflect something very deep in human psychology. Fire represents continuity. As long as the flame continues to burn, life continues, and hope continues. Communities can continue. Perhaps that's why people instinctively grow quiet when watching a flame. It feels like witnessing something alive, something ancient and sacred, something that is shared. And perhaps that is why the glow of fire still gathers people together, just as it did all those years ago. Our connection to fire is not simply habit, it is memory, a reminder of time when survival depended on that small glowing circle in the dark, where warmth meant safety, a light meant another day together. In a world filled with screens and electric light, a simple flame still has the power to slow us down, to bring us closer, and to remind us where we came from. A fire is never just light and heat. It is a reminder that somewhere deep in our past, a small circle of flame meant survival. Every campfire is a small echo of the first fires that helped make us human. The flame, which we watch today, is the same signal our ancestors once followed out of the darkness. Follow the signals, question the noise. I'll see you on the night side.